Out there. You ready to do business? Talking to you about
Ready, sir.
classic.
Ready to do business?
So I was,
We on?
felt it a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, it's classic. I don't think we'll get to see the principal's office anymore.
I'd like to now call to order the meeting of the Board of Commissioners for the town of Mint Hill, North Carolina for October the 9th, 2025. We do have a quorum present. At this time, I'd like to ask Commissioner Henderson to lead us in our invocation, please.
Let us pray. Lord, thank you for meeting us on this evening, and we ask that you would watch over our town, its residents, and all who are part of Mint Hill in any way. Now we ask that you would give us wisdom, give us guidance to make the decisions that we are charged to make. And we ask all these things in your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. If you would, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Item number 3 is additions, deletions, or arrangements of agenda items. Staff, do anything? Sir. Item number 4, approve the minutes of the September 11th, 2025 regular meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 5 is the consent agenda. A is to accept FY 26 fire service agreement. B, accept partial Sonata streets for town maintenance. C, adopt updated Governor's Highway Safety Program resolution. D, accept September tax collector's report. E, approval of the Metropolitan Public Transit Authority application form. And F, accept financial terms and rates for public service vehicles.
Motion to approve.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 6, I'll now open the public hearing on ZC 25-8, filed by Brandon Shreves, to allow a conditional rezoning to allow a commercial development, including a building without public road frontage, property located at 7503 Matthews Mint Hill Road, tax parcel 137-301-32. I believe the applicant is present. If you go ahead and come to the podium, please state your full name and your address, and then you have the floor, sir.
All right, thank you. My name is Mark Newell. Our company address is 2400 South Boulevard in Charlotte. So we brought this project forward. We've been working on it for a while. We actually are the developers with MPV Properties. We're the developers that completed the project across the street where Novant is currently located. The landowner, Tim Beldner, is with us today, so we formed a partnership with Tim to develop this site. As we worked through the development of this site, we went through several different iterations, and we came up with a plan that shows a building on the frontage and a building in the back. It's in the downtown overlay district. And per the overlay district requirements, the buildings have to have frontage on the main road. So the building in the rear is the one in question, and is the reason we brought this through this rezoning. Can we show the site plan? All right, that gives you a bit of an idea there. The front building there is 15,000 square feet. That's fronting Matthews Mint Hill Road. Then the rear building, again, it doesn't have the frontage on the road. We've got about 5 spaces. I believe we have 5 spaces per 1,000 parking, so we've got sufficient parking. One other thing that the commissioners asked as I worked through this process was that we had a connection from basically Town Hall into this site. So the site's basically right over here. And you can see on the left side of the site plan, there's a connection where we could have traffic flow between Town Hall and our site, and pedestrian traffic also. The intent of the site plan, or the intent of the project, is to bring service retail uses to this area. We do have several interested parties that range from, well, we've got a veterinarian group that has significant interest here. We've got a dental group. We have physical therapists. We've got some restaurants. We can't go too far with too much marketing on this until we get through the rezoning process. So we're just working through that. As we submitted for rezoning, we did have to do a traffic study, which has been completed, and the results were given to the commissioners. The recommendations of the traffic study, we didn't have a whole lot of off-site improvements, but they did recommend that we add a median along the center line of Matthews Mint Hill Road to not allow left turns into this site. So our plan will be to proceed in that manner and put the median as shown along Matthews Mint Hill Road. Wayne, do you want to discuss anything regarding the site?
Yeah, the site is interesting. By the way, Wayne Robinson, planner, landscape architect with VHB. Brandon Shreves is my colleague. I'm standing in for him this evening. The site is interesting. It does slope from Matthews Mint Hill Road back to the northeast corner of the site. That's kind of the low point and where the stormwater actually exits the site. We are going to solve stormwater with this one. Currently, the idea, can we switch? There we go. That might be a little prettier. The stormwater is going to be solved actually within the parking lot. We're going to do a pervious concrete paver cross-section there and store some of that water underneath the parking lot. We are also creating a pedestrian connection from the front building back to the rear building with some opportunity for some seating in the parking lot, as well as off of our site to the west side of the site where we have our connector road coming over to the village and town hall. There is a large pile of dirt over there. We will be removing that pile of dirt and turning that site into a small respite area, a little pocket park, and then also utilizing some of that land in some mitigation for replanting of kind of basically a tree save area as well. So those are kind of the big moves on the site, if you will, the big ideas.
And I'll just add to that, the paver, I'm not sure if everybody's seen a paver parking lot, but basically would be a beautiful system where the water flows through the pavers down below the paver system into some stones and then is dispersed from there. But the look of the parking lot will be really nice, being that it's full paver system.
Some renderings here of the front of the building on the parking lot side. This is the larger 15,000 square foot building.
The basic architectural requirement or look is going to be very similar to what we've built across the street.
Yep. Moving through, sorry. That will be the front of the rear building in this case. And then with the rear building, we do have a more nondescript rear on it because it does just front a buffer and then basically an alleyway on the backside there. I think that was all of that package. Yeah. So if you have any questions, would be.
Questions for the applicant, Commissioner Henderson?
On the rendering, it looks like there's space for several businesses. Is there a maximum number of businesses for each building?
You know, the front building is 15,000 square feet. As we work through the leasing, you don't always know exactly what you're going to get. We have leases out for a 4,000 foot use, a 2,000 foot use, another couple thousand square foot use. So I would expect in the front building, there's probably going to be 5 or 6 uses. And in the back building, probably 3, 4, or 5.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Dalton?
Yes, on your building, okay, the Novant building across the street, you're gonna make it look like that. Maybe not that kind of brick, but what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
so the scale, what I'm saying is the scale of the building, the height of the building is gonna be the same as that building.
okay.
That's the overlay, that's the downtown overlay requirements, is to be that high.
But I like the full brick on that building. The
Yeah.
pictures you showed us shows maybe look like a stucco
Oh,
finish.
yeah, we do have some stucco. It's gonna be, I'd say we haven't totally finished the renderings as far as the materials. There probably will be some stucco on this building just based on cost. Costs are much higher than they were when we built the other building. But we'll add as much brick as possible.
On the back, the back building, I see where you got trees and there, is there gonna be like a shrubbery buffer for the neighbors to the back property? Or what type of
There
buffer?
will be a shrubbery buffer. I'm gonna
There
defer to you on
will,
that.
some of that back area, we are gonna, because of the grading of the site, so the site does slope pretty severely back to that northeast corner. The front building is gonna be, the finished floor of the front building is gonna be about 5 feet higher than the finished floor of the rear building because of the slope on that site, and not to have to create, say, a large retaining wall in the back and do a lot of fill. But we also didn't want to stick that building way down in a hole, if you will. So we are going to have to grade quite a bit from the back of that building over to the property line, and then we're going to replant all of that because there are some existing trees kind of in that northwest corner, and not so much in the northeast corner. But all of that area, we have a certain percentage of site required for, it's under the stormwater
Tree
code,
save.
but it's essentially a tree save area. And so some of that, we're gonna have to replant in a mitigation, so it will be quite buffered back there with all of the mitigation plantings that are done.
We'll have to
just don't-
take a good bit down just because of the grading, just to be
Right.
able to put the building in, but we will plant back.
Yes,
Okay, because I don't want the residents to look at the back of a building.
Right.
right.
Okay, that's all
Can
for
make
now.
it go away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Commissioner Holton?
I think when you were talking about the pictures of the building, those are just renderings. I understand that part. And you did the one across the street, and I think it's going to mirror that look to that one, so it continues on. It's not going to be a totally like different color and stand out. It'll continue with the
Yes,
color palette going down.
yes.
And I think the other question I have is probably something for our engineer here to geek out on, is with the median that you're putting in front. The current median right now, I'm sure it's to regulation, but in my opinion, it's not going far enough, because from installation, the no left turn sign was immediately hit, and I think continues to get hit and is not there. I see on a daily basis cars making a left turn out of there and circumventing that median, so I don't know what the regulation is on how far past the drive to do that median.
We have been asked by NCDOT to extend it from what we're showing in this drawing right here, an additional 50 feet to the east.
Perfect, perfect.
And that would also prevent some folks from trying to make a kind of a quick U-turn and turn in as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. What's the average price per square foot for these?
The front building's gonna be 38 to 41 a foot, and the rear building will be 34 to 36 a foot.
Okay. That's all I've got.
Commissioner Long?
And then Commissioner Holton took mine because I had the same concern with the concrete there. I applaud you for doing this, though, because the right in, right out is positive. Thank you.
Yep, sure.
John, did anybody sign up to speak under this public hearing?
We had one on number 7.
One on 7, but none on this.
Let me double check. You have come in, Mr. Ralph.
So, Mr. Mayor, while he looks, with regard to accessing the town property, which we all know is the mound here, we had some conversations, many moons ago. Obviously, we'll have to revisit that. That'll require an easement that you folks will have to bless. I would assume that would probably, ideal world, we would get it on the same agenda as a potential approval for this, but that's
Right.
something that staff's gonna have to pick back up here shortly.
And that is town property, correct?
Correct.
Is that town property where we're accessing where they're showing the access onto the existing parking lot
Correct.
as well? Okay.
Yep, correct.
Any further questions? Thank you, gentlemen. If not, I'll close the public hearing on ZC 25-8
Thank you.
at this time. I'm sorry, John, I should ask you earlier, I apologize. All right, item number 7 is public comments. And I want to read our procedure for public comments in the town of Mint Hill. The agenda format of the Mint Hill Board of Commissioners for regular meetings sets a time in the meeting for public comments. The purpose of this policy is to set forth the rules concerning the use of time by members of the public. Members of the public who wish to speak during the public comments portion of the regular meeting must sign up with the town clerk in accordance with the clerk sign-up policy. The clerk will keep a record of the order in which members of the public sign up. Although members of the public will generally be called in the order at which they sign up, the chairman has the discretion to revise the order if the chairman determines that a revised order will result in a more orderly meeting. Members of the public who appear during the public comments portion of a regular board meeting may discuss any matter within the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners except for the following types of matters. A matter which appears on the agenda of that meeting of the board, or B, a matter which concerns the candidacy of any person seeking public office, including the candidacy of the person appearing before the board, and C, a request that the board consider a funding certain program or activity, either for the current budget or by inclusion of a future budget. Members of the public appearing before the board will each be given 3 minutes to speak unless there are 4 or more speakers who wish to speak, and on and on and on and so forth. Members of the board will not engage in dialogue with public comment speakers. Comments will be received and followed up by applicable town staff or members of the board. Handouts or tokens shall be given to the clerk for distribution to the board members at conclusion of the meeting. And 6, for the efficient and orderly conduct of town business, the Board of Commissioners reserves the right to set a maximum number of speakers whom they will hear from during the public comment portion of any meeting, or to set a maximum time for the public comments portion of the meeting. Members of the public wish to address the board during this portion of the meeting must appear in person. In the event that the board exercises its right to such limits on that time. Persons addressing the commissioners are expected to observe the decorum of the chamber, to be respectful of the commission, and the public to refrain from the use of profanity, coarse, or foul language. Chairman may rule out of order any comments tending to disrupt the meeting that are rude, inappropriate, or intended to harass any person or group of people, and is authorized to take reasonable and appropriate measures to ensure compliance with these rules. And there's a copy of these out there if I missed something. Public comments are now open, and it appears that Ms. Tunstall is first. Tunstall, is that right?
Did I sign up?
Yes, ma'am. Did you not? Did you not wish to speak?
No, I do not. But actually, since I'm on the thing, did you say that we cannot mention something that's already?
If it's already on the agenda, ma'am, we have certain times that we speak to certain issues. So if it's on the agenda, we can't speak to it this evening.
The answer is no. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And Taryn B. or,
Yeah, I thought it's just a sign-up sheet.
okay, well, thanks for being here. That's one way to get, that's one way to get your name in the record. Everybody just sign up. But believe me, we do appreciate having public comments. We like to hear from the public on these things. And I'm glad to see a full room here this evening. That's great. All right. Item number 8 is a proclamation that Commissioner Holton will read at this time.
Whereas Let's Include Landon, founded in 2023, is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to create opportunities to bring children with and without disabilities together to create real bonds and true friendships. And whereas inclusion means children with disabilities are not in separate activities nor lead separate lives. Separating people by ability disadvantages everyone. Belonging is a human need, and whereas disability inclusion is mutually beneficial, children with disabilities will benefit from being just as much a part of their community as their non-disabled peers. Be part of a team, have a best friend, create true friendships, and have a sense of belonging. Non-disabled peers will benefit from learning compassion, patience, respect, kindness, citizenship, and understanding the value of differences and how to successfully work and play with people who are different. And whereas families in the community pledge to accept, respect, and include people of all abilities, including their neurodivergent peers and peers with developmental delays and disabilities. And whereas inclusion starts with each individual person, each person pledges to help their community be more inclusive. And whereas every child is valued because of their strengths, gifts, and even challenges, as disability is simply diversity. We must trust that every child is an incredible whole person who does not need to be fixed, and now, therefore, he, Brad Simmons, does hereby proclaim November 2025 as Disability Inclusion Month in the town of Mint Hill, North Carolina.
Thank you, sir. Is Ms. Oberly here? We'll make sure she gets a copy of that official proclamation. Item number 9, discussion and decision on ZC 25-5, filed by Mike McGee. I understand the applicant is present and would like to make a statement.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, my name is Mike McGee, and I'd like to defer this for 1 month till next month, November, so that we could have an opportunity, that we could have a community meeting and just show everybody exactly what we're planning on doing here. It looks like there's been some misunderstandings on some of the things, but we'd like to defer it for 1 month.
Very well, sir. I appreciate that. Is there any disagreement with that?
I think it's a great idea.
Hearing none, that's a great idea. We'll defer it and have it on the agenda for next month. And I appreciate you doing that and reaching out to the community, sir.
Okay.
That's a very honorable thing to do. I appreciate that so much.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Item number 10, discussion and decision on ZC 25-7, filed by Nicholas Bradford to allow an existing building to be used as a bank with drive-through service for property located at 6849 Matthews Mint Hill Road, tax parcel number 135-381-75. Mr. Horde.
Planning Board met on September 15th, and they offer a favorable recommendation. And the recommended consistency statement is as follows. ZC 25-7, the request to change the use of the existing building appears to be consistent with the adopted land use plan, which designates the subject property as part of the downtown. This land use category supports a broad range of uses. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Horde? Hearing none, I'd be willing to accept a motion on the consistency statement.
Motion to accept the consistency statement as presented by the Mint Hill Planning Board.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion in regards to the consistency statement? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'd now entertain a motion on decision on ZC 25-7.
Motion for a favorable decision or approval on ZC 25-7.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes as well. Item number 11, presentation, discussion, and action on revised petition policy and proposed traffic calming policy. I'm ask Mr. Fry to come to the podium, please.
Can I preface this real quick?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
For those in the in the crowd that don't quite know what this is, there's been a lot of chatter over the years about speed bumps, speed pillows, speed cushions, whatever you want to call them. So myself, Commissioner Henderson as well, have definitely been pushing. You can't do anything without a policy and a procedure in place. So I believe that Steve Fry, our town engineer here, is going to get in the weeds with it, hopefully not too far in the weeds, with what he's done as far as going through and getting information from surrounding municipalities and what they do. The municipalities have been referenced that they have them currently, and basically mirroring what they're doing. So then that way, moving forward, we have
A
policy and procedure for speed bumps, speed cushions, speed pillows, or whatever you would like to call them.
better policy and procedure than
Yes.
surrounding towns.
Correct. So, Steve Fry,
Mr.
take it away.
Fry, go ahead. We've interrupted long enough.
Can I just say ditto?
Yes, you can, but it's not going to work.
All right. There are actually two items in this one, number 11, because they're related. They're attached at the hip. The first is formalizing our petition policy. In 2008, the board adopted a petition policy for reducing speed limits. Staff has since applied that same methodology to any sort of petition or any request that would impact more than just one property owner. And that's generally a 75% requirement of in-favor representation. So we've developed a schedule there of common requests that we get. And where this attaches to the policy that Commissioner Holton just mentioned is the traffic calming investigation. There is a minor change to the previous speed limit reduction policy. So that's the first item there that we're asking for your approval of that policy. And then, as Commissioner Holton stated, the traffic calming policy, I have spent some time researching nearly all of our communities around us and a lot of others in the region and even the nation to put together the policy that you see in front of you. It's I believe it's a fair, objective, quantitative approach and a staged approach at applying devices or speed traffic calming in neighborhoods that can show a warranted and proven problem with generally just speeding issues in the neighborhood. I'd be happy to get in any deeper in any details if you have any questions on it.
Commissioner Long, any questions on that?
No, sir.
Commissioner Holton?
So just out of curiosity here, what is the average cost for a speed bump to be installed?
If we do it
Just a bump.
ourselves, yeah, Huntersville does it themselves in-house for about $5,000 to $6,000 per speed hump.
And then,
Outsource is about 10,000.
and then what about like the extended speed cushions, I guess?
It would be in the, when I say a speed hump, we're not talking bumps like you'd find in a parking lot. This is a gradual approach, so you don't lose a filling when you hit it. But it does require you to slow down to comfortably navigate it.
And then that's also including like the ones that have been referenced, that have the cutouts for buses, first responders, what have you, all that.
Yeah, my findings was we wouldn't apply those types. We would just do speed humps. The goal of those is that a fire engine or an ambulance is supposed to be able to straddle them. It's inconclusive whether that works or not.
Gotcha. And this policy procedure would be located on the town's website, I assume?
Yes, we'll get it up there if it passes tonight.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem Dalton?
I have nothing.
Commissioner Henderson?
I don't have any questions. I do want to just thank town staff for working on this and doing the necessary research. It is important because we all are concerned about having safe streets in our community and doing the things that need to be done to make that happen.
Thank you.
Any further questions? I do want to clarify the one thing, though. It's a proposed traffic calming policy. It's not a speed bump policy.
That's
So
correct.
there's other ways that we have found checking nationwide that do a better job in most cases than speed bumps do in slowing speeding vehicles.
That's correct.
So our policy does reflect that. I just want to make that clear on the record. Thank you, sir. At this time, I'll entertain a motion on the revised petition policy first, which is it's just a change to our current existing policy.
Motion to approve the revised petition policy.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I will now entertain a motion on the proposed traffic calming policy.
Motion to approve the proposed traffic calming policy.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Fry, thank you very much. I appreciate staff putting this together and doing a great job on it, by the way. Great job on it. Item number 12, other business and council matters. And I'm going to start with you for a reason, Commissioner Long, so that you're before Commissioner Holton this
Oh,
month.
thank you.
No
That's very
problem,
kind.
sir. No problem. I owed you that.
It's exciting to see a full house tonight. I echo what the mayor said, it's always good. And Tuesday night, I believe it was, we had National Night Out, and it was a well-orchestrated event at 3 locations in Mint Hill. Don't know who all was responsible, but I was impressed with the turnout and thought it was a lot of good dialogue.
Commissioner Holton.
Get ready, Mint Hill. Mint Hill Madness is happening Thursday, October 16th through Saturday, October 18th. 3 days of rides, food, music, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss wristband night on Thursday, October 16th. Ride all evening long for just $30. And while you're out enjoying the fun, don't forget to cast your vote in the Scarecrow contest. Voting is open from Wednesday, October 15th through Friday, October 17th. Winner will be announced Saturday at Mint Hill Madness before the fireworks. Plus, mark your calendars for a very special event, and it's very special to me, which is the Veterans Breakfast on Saturday, November 8th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Arlington Baptist Church. It's all happening in Mint Hill. We'll see you there.
Mayor Pro Tem Dalton.
Couldn't do that if I tried. The Historical Society, WTVI, a PBS station here in Charlotte, on Tuesday, the 14th at 8:30 will be airing a documentary that they put together for our Historical Society. So if you get a chance or if you want to try to record that, I haven't seen it. I've spoken to some people that got the preview of seeing it and said it's really nice and really showcases our town of Mint Hill. That's all, sir.
Commissioner Henderson.
Just a couple of things. Of course, this is an election year. The Mint Hill Women's Club is sponsoring a Meet the Candidates Forum on Thursday, October the 23rd, from 7 to 8. It will be right here at Town Hall. And that will be candidates for mayoral and commissioner for that forum. So we're asking everyone to come out. Also, the Mint Hill Chamber is hosting a coffee with the candidates on Saturday, October the 25th, and that will be from 9:30 to 11 at the Mint Hill Chamber, which is located at 7900 Matthews Mint Hill Road, Building 2, Suite B.
Thank you. Couple things I wanted to go over. One, Patrick, or Commissioner Holton, excuse me, already mentioned the Veterans Breakfast. If you know any veterans in town who are not attending that currently, please have them contact the town hall here so we can get their email address and get them invited to that thing. It's open to all veterans in our area. It's a great event. One of the best ones that we're involved in all year long. Second of all, there's a lot of things that showcase the town of Mint Hill around here that sneak through the cracks that a lot of us don't know about. And there's one of them on October the 30th at Independence High School at 10 a.m. We're hosting a large number of Special Olympics kids over at Independence High School. So if you have the availability to be there, it showcases Mint Hill well, but it also showcases some great kids. And there's nothing better. I've been over there the last few times they've hosted that thing over there, and It gets your mind right before you leave there that day about what's important and what's really not important. We've already mentioned the election, so I won't do that other than to participate in that process, please. No matter which side of the aisle you sit on. You know, in Mint Hill, it's weird because we have different political parties, but we still talk to each other. So we're not going to get to that national level in Mint Hill, but do go out there and exercise your right to vote and learn about the candidates that are running. Try to find out all you can about the candidates that are running. And finally, we had our monthly police meeting today. We all meet with the police department and hear their report. And we get a monthly update about what's going on in Mint Hill. And the good thing about that is they're pretty boring. I mean, these guys try to find things exciting to talk to us about, but with our fire department, our police department, we live in a really safe town and a really good town. So that's the thing that I want to impress on all of you this evening. Come out here and get involved in this thing. I think the applicant left, but I think we saw something tonight that doesn't happen in any other town, and that's for an applicant to come in and ask for something to be deferred so that he can talk more to his neighbors and better explain what's going on. Now, whether the neighbor agrees or not, that's not my decision. That's not anybody's decision other than the neighbor. But the fact that he took it on himself to do that, I think that's a showing of what goes on in Mint Hill. And that made me awful proud. That gentleman made me awful proud to live in Mint Hill this evening. So anything else from anybody else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.